San Francisco. It's changed a lot in recent years. Tech bros, etc. Now, a typical gay experience in the city is Grimes convincing Elon Musk to watch Blue is the Warmest Color and try poppers. Too much? Whatever. But that's not true here in the Castro. Here in the Castro, still gay as hell.
Who's fucking in bushes after the show? I'm gonna be there.
Here in the Castro, you've got Harvey Milk and you've got Muscle Milk. You've got Zen meditation centers and you've got Zendaya appreciation centers.
Woo-hoo! She's so tall.
You've got Big Little Eyes and Big Little Thighs. I don't even know what that one means. And I also just want to go back and note, the Muscle Milk one was from Travis, who thinks gay people are still using muscle milk.
What you do is you cook lean ground turkey, and then you get it cold, and then you put it in your blender with water, and you blend it up, and you drink that. I am told by people who care about that sort of thing. I clearly don't.
But the Castro remains, as always, a bastion for gay people. It's a place where we can be ourselves. So tonight, we're going to reflect on gay history in a segment we're calling Gay News.
I am bad at that. I'm sorry. This is never going to be Las Culturistas. I am not going to be able to synchronize myself with you. I'm not good at singing, but I know a lot of Supreme Court decisions, okay? I bring other things to the table, John. Please stop shaming me for not being musical.
Okay. Point taken. In 1794, Luxembourg legalized sodomy. And then in 1795, after some really fun vacations, their neighbor Belgium did the same thing. It's like the president of Belgium came back from Luxembourg and was like, you guys are not going to believe the holes I discovered in Luxembourg.
Gay news. In Chicago, 1924, Henry Gerber, a war veteran and immigrant, formed the first known gay rights organization in the United States, the Society of Human Rights, which housed the first publication for homosexual men, Friendship and Freedom. Their newsletter, which I can only assume was published through MailChimp, only sent out a few issues before the organization's vice president's wife reported them and waited for their arrest. Then the chorus of Cell Block Tango began. And honestly, can you blame her? John, do you ever think about if you had lived in the 50s in the hours and or far from heaven and you married a lady, what it would be like?
So, good question, Guy. Thanks for asking. Here is what I believe. I do not believe it is possible for me to marry a lady.
I think my wife and I would have been the best of friends. I think she would have had a lot of interests and I would have supported them.
I just don't think I can get it done. Gay news. 1994, at a sleepaway camp, a boy named Ian, who was good at soccer, did an impression of me that was just this. It was just, ugh. Gay news.
In 1998, a young law student in Minneapolis, Minnesota, called his parents and told him that he was gay. And because she knew that he was going through a hard time, Cher released the Believe album. She was like, I know I have been away, I know I focused on movies a lot for a while, but I feel that there is a very fat gay boy out there who is balding, and he needs to believe in life after love, and also that he's strong enough.
Gay news. In 1957, Frank Kameny was fired from his job at the Army Map Service for being gay. In turn, he petitioned the Supreme Court in 1961 for relief, arguing that the federal government's treatment of him was like Darren Criss being straight, an affront to human dignity. He was the first person to make that civil rights argument to our nation's highest court. His petition was denied, but he lived to see the ban on gays in the military overturned and was even invited to the White House by President Obama. Yes, he was just one man, but he fought for millions who didn't want their sexual orientation to stop them from doing the gayest job of all, map making. Gay news.
In 1969, police tried to shut down a New York gay bar called the Stonewall Inn. Heard of it? Kicking off riots that would unify the LGBT community in New York City and lead to the formation of gay rights organizations around the US and around the world. Activists like Marsha P. Johnson, Miss Major, and Stormy Delivery, I didn't say that right, went toe-to-toe, I clearly need to be educated on my own goddamn history, went toe-to-toe with law enforcement as they fought for a place where they could live their lives openly and buy cocktails that probably cost like a dime back then. I would throw 1,000 bricks through windows for a deal like that, and old-fashioned is like $17 now. Also, what gay guy is ordering an old-fashioned? We all understand that a vodka soda is the increment of commerce for gay bars.
Yes. It's our euro. Also, as I learned from the film Stonewall, the first brick was thrown by a white man with abs. Is that not correct?
Yes, it's true.
Gay news. So, this is the story of a gay boy in the 90s with a 28.8 baud modem. First, you load pictures slowly but surely of a naked woman. And then you think, let's introduce a man to this equation. And you load a picture of a man and a woman, and it loads. Time passes. You think, this would be better with another guy. And so the photo loads. Now there's two guys and a woman. And then there's a fateful moment where it's time for that woman to go. Gay news.
2003. I am sitting at my telemarketing job at Civic Center in Oakland, and my coworker Anjanette walks up and says, "Why are you crying?" And I said, "I am reading a Supreme Court decision right now." That Supreme Court decision, ladies and gentlemen, was Lawrence v. Texas, the best work that Anthony Kennedy ever did. Gay news. 2005, Meryl Streep said cerulean.
Why is no one ready? I remember when Ellen came out of the closet. And I actually watched it completely. I watched it, I remember when it was coming, I read all the news stories about it, I watched the episode, but it wasn't for another decade more that I realized that I had watched Ellen come out of the closet without saying a word out loud. I was closeted myself at the time, and I just experienced it. It was incredibly important to me, and I never told a soul because by the time I'd come out so many years later, I wasn't thinking about that moment, that incredibly poignant moment between me and this TV star, and I realized that so many other people had had this personal secret moment with Ellen DeGeneres, and so I found myself watching Ellen accept the Presidential Medal of Freedom from President Barack Obama. And I found myself tearing up because I realized that I had never spoken aloud about this incredibly important experience in my life. Because I realized at that moment, when I saw Ellen come out of the closet, that I too could be a gay comedian who has a reputation for being much meaner than you'd expect behind the scenes.
Also, not pleasant when his hair isn't cooperating. Gay news. In 2015, the Supreme Court decided Obergefell v. Hodges, making it illegal for states to ban. You should have clapped like that for Lawrence v. Texas.
Respect Lawrence v. Texas is a beautifully written opinion that has affected jurisprudence across the country.
Go fucking read Lawrence v. Texas.
Read Lawrence v. Texas. The ending is magnificent.
Yes. Honestly, by Obergefell v. Hodges, Kennedy was like trying too hard, you know?
No, it had gone to his head. It was getting very overwritten. It was like Matrix Revolutions.
Making it illegal for states to ban same-sex marriages, thanks to the deciding vote from gay icon and drag queen moderate Anthony Kennedy. Then, that night, the White House was lit in rainbow colors by John's friends.
Barack Obama.
that was like, it was weird because by that point in time, I had been out of the closet for like, I mean, almost 20 years. I'm very old. And like, I just never thought that I would get to be a part of my country that much, if that makes any sense. Don't pity me, be excited. Also, you should have clapped more for Cerulean.
And I thought at that moment that my mother would wait 15 minutes before texting me about when I'd get married. And that's gay news.